So, good morning, you guys. I have been thinking about something I've been hearing on my Instagram. I get all these little ideas on my Instagram through quotes and such. And I've been getting like this steady stream, and I hadn't really thought about it that much before, but over the last couple days, they've just really struck me funny. Okay, so it's this idea that we grow through suffering. This idea that we grow through suffering. And I really started to think about it because, okay, so the place that I'm staying in Phoenix, the person that I'm staying at, he absolutely loves plants. Probably as much as I do. We both like plants more than people. I'm just kidding. Not all people. But anyway, so he loves these plants, and nearly every day he is outside tending to them. He trims them, he waters them, he fertilizes them. He notices how they're doing, if they need more sun or less sun. I mean, these plants are really, really well cared for. And I would say if the plant is suffering, it would die. It would categorically die. Like, if it doesn't have enough water, if it doesn't have good soil, if it has too much water. I mean, plants are pretty persnickety. I know because I love my plants. And then I was thinking about this idea that I was a child care coach. So I used to go into child care centers and coach teachers and directors on early childhood. And I actually made this felt board that had a flower pot. And the pot itself was like the environment that the child is in when they're at child care. And then I had these drops of water that had like nice things to be said to them. Because they have found that children thrive in environments where they are doing what they like to do, playing with toys that they like to be playing with the interaction of their caretakers. And I have talked in previous videos over and over again about this idea of attachment. And that if a child or if a person has one healthy attachment, their chances are just exponentially increased to have a better life. And so I got to thinking about that it sort of defies reason for me that suffering always has to be present for us to grow. Does it always have to be? Does it have to be suffering? Or can we like recontextualize it to being like, I love to play soccer, so I love to practice. I love to choose to practice instead of doing other things. I love what I do. I love going into people's homes. I mean, people let me go into their homes and they trust me with their child's development. I mean, it's quite a gift for them to do that with me. And is that suffering? Is that suffering? I don't think it is. And I know that there are times in our lives where we suffer from loss. I think loss is just inevitable, that we will lose things, we'll lose jobs, we'll lose homes, like things happen. However, I don't think it is a prerequisite for growth. And in fact, I think about the times that I've actually suffered, and it was quite a setback for me. It was quite a setback for me. It like set me back, and then I had this much further to even catch up to where I was. And yes, I may in some ways have gotten better from that, but I really feel like joy is a better description of a way for us to grow in life. Like, for example, and I've heard this from several people. I heard this in one of David Hawkins' books. I've talked about him quite a bit in my videos because I studied his works for many years. And he talked about coming to God through joy, that we don't always go to God through suffering. We can go to God through joy. And then Dr. Joe Dispenza, he talks about this. I don't know that I've actually read it. I'm not sure. But I've watched a lot of his work, and he talks about coming to this through joy. And so, because we have been trained from a very, very young age somehow that suffering is the way to betterment. And I'm not entirely sure that that's true. In fact, I think that it's actually might not be. I think it's true because we said it was true, or we set it up to be true. Anyway, so I've just been thinking about that quite a bit. And then there was something else I wanted to talk about, but I can't remember. So anyway, I love you guys. Thanks for listening. Later.